Good evening, everyone. We normally do not do a video of our work session, but this project entails capital improvement at Highland Rim School in South Lincoln. We thought best to video so everyone knows the objectives. One of the responsibilities of the school board is planning and budgeting for the future needs of students. If you look at growth in the past 5 years in South Central Lincoln County, you will notice an enormous amount of new housing. Also, in the past 6 months, several new subdivisions have been approved in the same area. We recognize some of the growth will move to the west of the county, and we had that in mind with the capacity of Blanche School. South Lincoln is landlocked currently until sewer is available for any new classroom additions. I know some may say we have not even moved into the Blanche School, yet here the school board is looking at another project. Just as we did with Blanche, we're starting the process for a dialogue in achieving what is best for the students and the taxpayers. Tonight, 2 items are being looked at for improvements. The lesser of the 2 is South Lincoln School. This is for the enhancement of the cafeteria area. I brought this item up back in 2010, which all the board members have a copy of, is the handout of the core capacity of the school for dining in the cafeteria. South Lincoln currently now has the lowest core capacity of any school at 505 with an enrollment back in 2010 of 625, which is higher than that now. The reason of the lack of capacity is when upper grades were added, no additional cafeteria space was added. At Highland Rim, as of November the 2nd, 2020, there were 722 K through 8 and 39 pre-K. We are in need of additional classroom space, bathroom additions, and cafeteria expansion. Core capacity for this cafeteria is 655. When you look at the cost of it, the improvements is making them a prudent use of taxpayers' dollars considering the age of the building. Also note at the building's age, the likelihood of starting to repair failed water lines, pipes, drainage that has been occurring at Blanche. You might say that would be an easy addition and cost not that high. However, if you're tasked with updating to meeting the current state fire marshal codes with the rest of the building when you're adding on to current facility with further increased cost overall. Again, utilities being added to old infrastructure would pose unexpected cost as well. Our goal tonight with co-architect is to establish, can we construct a new facility at Highland Rim, leaving the gym intact as it was built later, and continue to have classrooms during construction. Also a remedy at South Lincoln Cafeteria for a cafeteria expansion and drainage there, with a new library location. Also note our expenditures side will decrease significantly at Blanche in our maintenance expenditures, and we should also gain a great amount in utility savings as well at Blanche. We will also have a savings upon completion of the sale of Stone Bridge property, as well as we will no longer have maintenance and utility upkeep as well. At this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Casey Smith with COPE Architect to take us through it tonight.
Hello, I appreciate you all inviting us to be here to make this presentation to you.
Move the mic up.
They can't hear.
We can't hear her.
I don't have any audio feedback for that, so.
I'll just speak up. Is that okay?
Gotcha.
All right. So appreciate you all having me here. Grant Tharp hated to miss it, but he's ill, so he's at home. So as he mentioned, our marching orders we'll take a look at South Lincoln first. And we went into this school to look at drainage issues and dining capacity issues. We looked at options to potentially enclose part of the exterior corridor. If you can see over here, I'll use the mouse to show in this corridor here. We looked at options of enclosing a part of that to create more dining seating area. The blue here is the existing dining area. The goal was to achieve at 80 to 100 more seats for the students. That area doesn't really work. There's a lot going on with the roof lines and also some drainage issues in this specific area. So we then started looking at what space we could incorporate inside the building. The media center is directly across the corridor, and a renovation to that space could easily make that dining area, and we could seat well over 100 students in there. We could back off of that number and reduce the area of the footprint that we're touching if we would like, but there's quite a few options there. That presents the problem of what are we going to do for the media center. Out in this area, the existing grade has caused some drainage issues. And so a likely solution could be to build a freestanding media center out in this space, which would allow us to also solve some of the drainage issues that you have. That could be connected by either a open air canopy or an enclosed corridor, depending on, again, all of these designs are very 30,000 foot schematic. So as we drill down, we could make some of those determinations. But from that perspective, we would be able to solve those problems of drainage and seating capacity in the dining room with the renovation of the media center and then building a freestanding media center. This freestanding building would only have electricity, heating, and air. There would be no plumbing in the building. Do you have any questions on that before I move to Highland Rim?
Any board member got anything?
This is Highland Rim in its current state. You've got the building here is a 1979 classroom building with the music program in it. This is the existing gym facility with classrooms around it. One of the issues in this area of the school is a lack of restrooms. Down here is the original school, 1960s original school. And this square right here is a 4-classroom addition done in 2000. So we've done some site analysis. We've looked at multiple options. And the reiteration that we are at currently looks like this. The way this, one of the challenges here was phasing operational while you do your capital project. So in this project, school would continue to be in session. And this new building, the dark gray building at the back, which would be located currently where the practice football field is and the gravel lot, this new building would be built while classes are still being held in the existing building. Once that building's finished, then the 2000 and 1960s buildings would be demolished and this football field would be built in that place. That way school can still be operational. The front door of the school would then face Old Huntsville Road and your new road here. I'm reusing the construction work that you've already invested in. So this program, I've been working with the principal and we incorporate all of this existing spaces that he has plus classroom space for up to 1,000 students, a core of 1,000 students. It also gains art space, music space. The gym would stay as is, but we would be able to free up 2 classrooms to add restrooms in that area. As far as a traffic flow, you can see the parking spaces here, parking lots. We would be demolishing that gravel lot in the rear of the school, but we would be replacing it with more parking than it currently has. Let's see. Currently, there are 191 spaces, and this new plan is 192, and that is very conservative. There's opportunities for additional parking, but I believe the school said parking is pretty adequate right now. This school the front door is, are you able to see that? Yes, front door is right here. And as you come into the school, you'd have the administration, the media center, the cafeteria, and then the classroom wing. Now this classroom wing is 2 stories in order to accommodate the number of classrooms that you're going to need for this project. And we would connect to the existing school, the pieces of the existing school that would remain through enclosed corridors. From a traffic perspective, car riders, and there's some the site plan offers some flexibility, but car riders could come in off Highland Rim Road, progress around the school counterclockwise into this queuing line to drop off in front of the school. That is just slightly over the current lineal length of queuing space that they have now. And I do know that they've got some delays right now. So we want to improve upon that. Buses right here and press counterclockwise on the left side of the school and exit out onto Old Huntsville Road, or they could even come back out onto Highland Rim Road, depending on what the principal prefers. Either way, the bus traffic and the car traffic are completely separated. If they exit onto Old Huntsville Road, then the parking lot 47 actually has free and clear access during drop off and dismissal. So you're not locked jammed during those times. Let's see. Some of the features of this school, the administration area would have a nurse's office with an exterior access so that students who are quarantined can come and go directly to the exterior and not go through the main office again. And I mentioned we'd be adding restrooms to the existing gym building to make that building more usable. And there were also questions about a storm shelter. Lincoln County is under the International Building Code 2018, which requires us to accommodate the entire student body in a storm shelter. That can be done a couple of different ways. There obviously is some expense with that, so we would really dive into the design, whether it be in the gym, the cafeteria, or the corridors, to find out what the most cost-effective way is to achieve that. This is the current traffic pattern of the existing school. Cars enter at number 1. They double load to number 2. And then at number 2 to number 3, 10 cars drop off at a time. And then they move those 10 cars out and the next 10 cars load up. The bus entrance is off Highland Rim Road and they just come right in and circle through. So on our plan, Highland Rim Road would be the access point for cars to circulate through, and it's right now it's just slightly over the same length. If we moved into schematic design process, we could certainly fine tune that and look at the feasibility of some of these drive aisles and whether or not they could be extended or not. So I think that about covers all of the high points. This building, the new building, is 93,000 square feet and change, and renovation is 44,557 square feet. So the new is 93,117. And the renovation is 44,557 square feet. Are there any questions?
Anybody got any questions? I know this is preliminary, that it clears the objective of what we're trying to accomplish is that we endeavor down the road on a building, whenever we're able to build that school, that we can accommodate the students in class while the construction is going on. And you did expand looking at the utilities, that didn't think that would be an issue.
Yes, sir. All of the utilities, the bulk of the utilities are on this side of the building, and it's a cluster, I'll be honest. There's just a lot going on over there. So we just avoided that area. We'd be bringing in new service to the building and tying into what we can. But that also drove some of our, this site design, was avoiding that utility, avoiding the drop in grade over on this side of the site. This side of the site has some drainage issues as well. But that all informed the decision. But to answer the question that we were posed, can we build a 1,000-student school and keep school in progress? The answer is yes, you can. we avoided the area here.
Cause it's still on sewer. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on sewer. We're on sewer, so that won't be an issue there. We was able to tap onto that, what, how many years ago? 3?
Years. And there's capacity for this as well, correct?
Yeah, we would have leeway at south if we had sewer. I talked with Ms. Smith earlier today on this, and the next thing that I bring up, if nobody, I mean, as far as an item added to the agenda, is the next step would be to engage them to say, come back to us with the cost of both projects of what the endeavors of the schematic, the architect, those type deals, so that we've got that idea if we can go forward with that, if that works for everybody tonight.
If you're wanting to get to a point where you want a real good cost estimate from a contractor and from us, using historical data that we have, 65% of our work is schools. So we've got quite a bit of data and contractors that we work with to develop our cost estimates. So to get to that point, we really have to go through the schematic design process. Any design project has the schematic design phase, which is at the end of schematic design, your deliverable would be a floor plan, exterior elevations, narratives on all the mechanical systems that would be in the building, and a schematic site plan. And then after that, you would move into design development, which we really get down into the details. And then your construction documents is the next phase, which is the nuts and bolts of how to build the building for the contractor, the set of instructions. So to really get the first point at which we can really confidently give you a price is at the end of schematic design. And I think that's what we discussed earlier, is that we could give you a proposal for the architectural, civil engineering, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and structural engineers, and what our design fees would be to get you to that point, to deliver you a cost estimate. And then we could even add inflation rates to that, so you could project it forward however many years you wanted to. And then the other two items that you would need to be able to have faith in that number is a boundary survey, topo survey, and geotechnical testing. We'd want to drill a few borings in the area of the new building just to make sure there's no surprises underground.
Mr. Bryant, have you got anything to ask? Anybody got anything? Well, we appreciate the time, and then we can, as a board, then can go forward and see where we go from here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.